Let me tell you something that might surprise you. Every single person you see thriving in media started somewhere. Nobody wakes up one day and wakes up as an expert. We all begin with that same nervous energy, shaky confidence, and that little voice asking, am I even qualified to do this? I remember my first national interview. I was thrilled, but absolutely terrified. I had my notes printed out. I rehearsed 100 times, but once the camera was rolling, I forgot most of what I planned to say. And guess what? I just answered the questions my own way. The segment still aired. I got plenty of messages from viewers afterwards. And that one moment opened doors to so many more interviews. That's because media is a skill. It's not a gift. You build experience by getting started, not the other way around. Well, hey there. Welcome to Media Savvy, the podcast that gives you a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to get noticed by media and become the go-to expert that they keep coming back to. I'll be sitting down with successful writers, producers, and entrepreneurs to learn the tools and tactics they use to build their reputation and in turn boost their business. I'm your host, Taub-Dix, and I've been working with top-tier media outlets for more than 30 years, anywhere from traditional print publications to online and social platforms. And I'm sharing my nutrition guidance without gimmicks. But you don't have to be a dietitian for this podcast to speak to you. Through my one-to-one conversations, you'll learn how to build a strategy to get your name in the news and establish yourself as an authority in your field, no matter what the industry. With Media Savvy, I'm on a mission to inspire, motivate, and empower you to have the confidence and tools you need to shine in the spotlight. Are you ready? Let's get Media Savvy. Well, hey there, my friends. Welcome back to the Media Savvy podcast. I'm so glad you're here because today we are tackling a topic that I know a lot of you have been thinking about. Whether you've said it out loud or just kept it to yourself, we're pulling the Band-Aid off of the reason you keep telling yourself that you're not cut out to work with media. I know the myths. These are the myths I'm talking about. You might say, I'm too shy for this, or I don't look the part, or I need years of experience before anyone will take me seriously. Sound familiar? Well, let me tell you something. Those myths are just noise. They're barriers we put into our minds, and today we are breaking them down. By the end of this episode, I want you to feel empowered to step into the media world with confidence, whether that means pitching yourself to a podcast, writing your first article, or just showing up on a camera. So grab your coffee, your tea, or put those headphones on and take me for a walk with you. Either way, let's take a closer look together. Okay, let's do some myth busting. Myth number 1, you have to be an extrovert to succeed in media. Okay, let me just say this loud and clear. You do not have to be the life of a party to have fun at it. In fact, some of the most compelling media personalities I've worked with are actually introverts. Why? Because they bring something special to the table. Thoughtfulness, deep listening skills, and a knack for preparation. You'd be shocked at some of the people that I have spoken to and some of the people that actually come clean on social media and tell you about how shy they really are. I once worked with a client who told me that she was too shy to work with media. Just the idea of being on camera made her freeze. But once she realized she didn't need to be someone that she wasn't, everything kind of changed. Her calm, quiet confidence made her audience feel instantly at ease. And now she's regularly interviewed on podcasts and quoted in articles. Media isn't about being loud. It's about being authentic. And your authenticity, well, you could make it magnetic. Let's move on to myth number 2. Media is all about looks. Oh yeah, this is another one that drives me crazy. Listen, I get it. There's a lot of pressure out there to look polished and perfect. And here's the truth. People aren't turning into your content because of how you look. They're tuning into your content because of what you have to say. Your message and how you deliver it are what matters the most. When I first started doing TV appearances, I focused less on my hair, my outfit, my makeup. Oh my gosh, you should have seen some of those videos. My hair looked like there was a bird's nest on my head. but I was just thrilled to get an interview. After I've changed a few things over the years, and I do try to dress a little bit more for success, especially during interviews, over time I realized something. My most important moments weren't about how I looked. They were about how I connected with my audience. It was when I shared a personal story or gave a piece of advice that really hit home with them. And here's something most people don't realize. You don't even need to show up on camera to get your messages across. You could record a voiceover and pair it with photos or videos. You can create recipes and just show your hands. You could build a powerful, visible presence without ever putting your face in front and center. So, yes, present yourself in a way that makes you feel confident, but don't let worries about your appearance hold you back from sharing your voice. The media world is filled with creative ways to show up, and your audience is looking for connection, not perfection. Myth number 3, you need tons of experience to get started. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. Every single person you see thriving in media started somewhere. Nobody wakes up one day and wakes up as an expert. We all begin with that same nervous energy, shaky confidence, and that little voice asking, am I even qualified to do this? I remember my first national interview. I was thrilled, but absolutely terrified. I had my notes printed out. I rehearsed 100 times, but once the camera was rolling, I forgot most of what I planned to say. And guess what? I just answered the questions my own way. The segment still aired. I got plenty of messages from viewers afterwards. And that one moment opened doors to so many more interviews. That's because media is a skill. It's not a gift. You build experience by getting started, not the other way around. Think about it like learning to cook. You don't become a chef by reading a recipe. You've got to get into it, get in the kitchen, burn a few things, make a mess, and then, like magic, it happens. I love to bake, and my husband still remembers one of my very first homemade cakes. He actually called it rock cake, so that should give you a clue about how tasty it was. Well, actually, it wasn't, but okay. I kept practicing, and there you go. Now I bake just about every week. So if you're thinking, I'll start once I feel more confident, I want you to flip that. Confidence doesn't come before the work, it comes because of the work. Try this. Choose one small media step each week. Pitch yourself to a podcast, write a tip post on LinkedIn, or record a short video sharing your expertise. It doesn't even have to be your best work. It just has to be, and it should be real because people will pick up on that and they're looking for you. Myth number 4, everything's already been done before. Now let's talk about one more myth that might be holding you back because this is a big one. Yes, there's a good chance that the thing you want to say or do has been done before, but it hasn't been done by you. That matters more than you think. Your story, your voice, your experiences, that's the special sauce that makes your content valuable and unique. Even if a topic's been covered 100 times, the way you say it, you explain it, or you relate it to the way that you feel about the topic, that will resonate with someone who's never connected to it before. I've been asked to talk about food labels more times than I could count, and yet every time I try to find a way to make it fresh because I've evolved, my audience has changed, and I've added new stories or insights that could give it a new spin. Here's something that helped me shift my mindset. Don't look at the people you compare yourself to as competitors. Look at them as teachers. What are they doing well? What do you admire about them? Then take those lessons and add your story, your energy, and your voice to that message. There's room for all of us in media, and there's especially room for you. Okay, the last myth, number 5. You need a manager, agent, or publicist to get media coverage. Okay, let me stop you right there because this myth, it's not just wrong, it's disempowering. You do not need to pay thousands of dollars to get media coverage. You don't need someone else to pitch for you. You can tell your own story, and honestly, you'll do it better than anyone else. I've been quoted in 3 to 5 top-tier publications every single week without a manager, without an agent, or without a publicist. How does this happen? I learned how to pitch myself the right way. I built real relationships with journalists, and I showed up consistently with something valuable to say. Now journalists come to me. I hardly ever pitch a story, and if I do, it's usually to a journalist that already knows me, so it seems to go to their inbox much better with a subject line that they'll open up than other people would do. Sure, there's a place for reps, but if you're waiting until you can afford one, you're just delaying your own success. You can be your own best advocate, and that's exactly what I'm here to help you do. And why throw your money away? Agents usually get about a 15% cut of whatever you make. And I don't have to be a mathematician to figure out that if you're not getting paid by a brand as of yet for your media placements, then paying a manager actually costs you more than you're making. Does that make sense to you? It doesn't make any sense to me, especially when you got this. So here's some encouragement and a few action steps that you could take. Let's tie this all together and see that no matter what, you are on the right track right now. Focus on your strengths. Are you a great writer? Start here. Do you love speaking? Pitch yourself for podcasts or radio shows. Choose a path that feels natural and fun. Embrace imperfection. You don't need to have all the answers. Sometimes your bloopers will be what makes you the most memorable. Start small. You don't need a slick reel or years of experience. Take one step and then the next. You're building momentum every time you show up. And most importantly, be yourself. Your voice, your quirks, your experience. Those are your superpowers. Don't hide them. Lean into them. The media world isn't reserved for the chosen few. It's for anyone with a message and the courage to share it. And that certainly includes you. Okay, so there you have it. 5 of the biggest media myths officially busted. I hope today's episode gave you the confidence to stop holding back and start showing up your way. And if this episode lit a fire in you and you're ready to build a media brand and build your bank account, let's talk. We haven't even gotten started on how these media moments can land you brand partnerships that could bring in thousands of dollars with each hit. I am not exaggerating. Head to the link in the show notes to book a discovery call with me or send me a message at mediasavvybtd.com or on Instagram at btdmedia. I'd love to help you turn your voice into visibility and your visibility into opportunity. And by the way, you're looking mighty media savvy today. So thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.